Well, we made it through Christmas and some of the holidays, and now we are approaching New Year's Eve. And Doug and I, and I'm sure many of you who are in our community, love to really plan out your year so that you will make the most of it. And really, every day matters, as John Maxwell says. And so I have admired Amy for the last 18 years. Her and her family with Scott and her 3 grown children now. And I think only one of them has a husband and child now. And anyway, her family continues to grow. But I knew her when she was a senior sales coordinator. So I have seen just amazing things from Amy. And now she's got NMDs under her and 100 clubs under her. And she just continues to sharpen her skills and her wisdom. And I couldn't be more excited to hear from her. And I've heard from her over the years. And even I was remembering at a little kitchen table training with just 4 of us. So you don't have to have a large team to get your team together. It was me, Julie, Abby, my distributor, and Amy. And I also want to mention that I have had on my reminders to send thank you cards to people, which I'm so bad at. So thank you to everybody. And so I like to verbally say thank you instead. But Amy is always on my list, like so many times that I could never thank her enough, because she sends books, she sends cards, she's just amazing. And she just gifts all the time. So Amy is going to gift us with this. I stressed her out a little bit over Christmas. She said she wasn't stressed out. But in order to prepare to present something, it's got to be like blood, sweat, and tears. So she did that for us while she was enjoying her holidays. So we appreciate it. She's always got a peaceful manner about her no matter what. So we won't know if she's stressed out, I'm sure. But anyway, thank you, Amy, for giving of yourself all the time. I'm going to put you on speaker view. Hope you don't mind. So you go ahead. Hopefully you're unmuted.
I got it. Okay. We're good?
Wonderful. Perfect.
Sharon, thank you so much for inviting me to share some thoughts tonight as we welcome in the new year. And I just want to say welcome to every single one of you as we close out 2017 and plan for 2018. And I well remember when we were meeting together in those early years, we were all just really getting started. And just the concepts that helped me to grow back then, 21 years ago, are the same concepts that help every single one of us to grow. So I'm excited to share some of these things with all of us tonight. And it's been good for me to go back and think about these truths and these principles over the last couple of days in preparation for this call tonight, because it brings me back to the foundation of what brought me to the place that I am today. So this time of year is the perfect time to do 2 things. I like to reflect on the past, yes, and then refuel for the future. And in my 21 years with the Juice Plus company, I can tell you that right now is the very best time to be part of this community. And I'm more excited today than I was when I made National Marketing Director, or got to go to the Eltons for the first time, or even go to the 39 Club Spa. I am so excited about our future as a company, our future as a team, about your future, and about where we're headed. So just want to say thank you and welcome to the call tonight. I really, really believe that right now is the best time to start your Juice Plus business. And right now is the best time to also restart your Juice Plus business if you've been around for a while. Right now is the best time to grow your Juice Plus business, because January is the very best month. It's a great time for fresh starts and new starts and starting over and all of that. January is the month, okay? And we all know that the tools that we hold in our hands are creating growth and faster growth than ever before in our company history. In fact, for the last few years, we've been sharing many of the amazing tools that have been developed recently, and using Facebook and the trainings that we have access to. And we get to stay connected like never before through Voxer. We're seeing team members grow their businesses faster than we ever thought possible when I started. I know when I started, they used to say 5 years to National Marketing Director. And that still is the case, but some people are doing it in 1 year, which it really wasn't possible back then, but because of technology and the way the connectivity that we have available to us now, it can happen even faster. So sometimes I've seen team members who've been around for 8 or 10 years, and suddenly things click and then they skyrocket to national marketing director. So maybe you've been around for a long time. This is a great time to restart your business. I believe that 2018 is going to be amazing. It truly is the perfect time to be part of this mission. And with all the good stuff happening around us, I want to take just a minute and reflect and take you back to some basic training tonight that Sharon alluded to earlier. It's always good to go back to the basics, because when you chunk it down, creating success with the Juice Plus company leads us to 5 core beliefs. And many of you have heard these 5 beliefs before, but for some of you, it might be your first time to hear this. And I truly believe that this is the core part of our business, that when we grasp these things, it can really move us forward. So belief number 1, and these beliefs we talked about at Sharon's house. Kirsten was there, 18, 17 years ago. I remember that time so well. But it's these core beliefs that really lay the foundation for our success in this business. Number 1, belief in the product. Okay, 37 published studies and 4 more on the way, probably this year. The evidence is overwhelming and indisputable that Juice Plus works. So we know that there's nothing else available anywhere else in the world that can do what Juice Plus has been clinically proven to do for your health. Juice Plus is rock solid. So get rock solid in your belief on Juice Plus. If it's not already a 10, get it there. I'm telling you, so powerful what Juice Plus can do in the body. Belief number 2 is belief in our company. 2017 was the very best year in our 47-year history of this company, and 24 years of Juice Plus success. And I'm telling you, we're looking forward with so much anticipation to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Juice Plus this coming year. The timing for the Juice Plus virtual franchise could not be better. So I can tell you that I have a rock solid belief in our company, and I hope that you do too. Do you? Do you have a rock solid belief in our company? Is it a 10? Belief number 3 is belief in our industry. As I've learned more about this industry, it gets me more excited. When you hear outsiders to this company like Darren Hardy or Eric Worre or Robert Kiyosaki describe the perfect business, they describe it and it sounds exactly like the Juice Plus virtual franchise. And I love that. You see, our business model is a design whose time has come. Or when you look at the health and wellness industry, we see the sales of vitamins and supplements going down and the emergence of whole foods going up. You know that the wellness industry is ready for our message of whole food nutrition. We see that every single day. So my message tonight is to have a rock solid belief in how we are positioned in this industry, not only in the wellness industry, but also in the positioning of a home-based business like ours. It couldn't be better. And I'm so proud to be a business owner with our Juice Plus virtual franchise and to be a leader in network marketing. It is one of the most equitable marketing systems that exists. And I'm so proud to be part of this industry. Belief number 4 is belief in team. I can tell you that our teams are stronger than ever because we have better connection and community than ever before. And it just keeps getting better. This team is united and it's really leading the world and the company in systems that are creating unprecedented growth. And you truly are part of making this team what it is. Finally, belief number 5 is belief in ourselves. When we devote energy to growing ourselves and doing the internal work of becoming the person it takes to succeed, we see success in beautiful ways. We all have the same products, the same company, the same industry. We are all part of the same team, but the only variable is you. So I want to invest the next 20 minutes and focus in on you, because success in 2018 really begins with you, and success leaves clues. It really does. I love how John Maxwell describes success. He said the success is knowing your purpose, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds to benefit others. And here's what I know. You will never exhaust your capacity to grow or run out of opportunities to help others. So let's zero in on knowing, growing, and sowing tonight. The evidence is overwhelming that you cannot begin to achieve your best until you set some aim in life. You got to pull that arrow back and shoot it, right? You got to aim that arrow. Do you know what your target is? Do you know what you want and why you want it? When you get clear on your why, it works like a magnet to draw you toward your goals. And your why is going to grow and mature and become stronger and clearer over time. But you can't just think about what you want from this business. You've got to clearly write it down. You've got to think it and also ink it. You've got to write it down. And I have that. I've got a book where I write down my goals. Every single month, I have monthly goals. Some of them are short-term goals, some of them are long-term goals, but they're all written down in this great little book. And when I reach a goal, I highlight it. And it's like exciting to go back and see the progress and the progression of goals written down and what happens as I'm meeting them on a regular basis. One of the reasons I have these goals written down is because I believe that it's not a coincidence that many of the goals in my book have been reached. I think it begins with having a clearly defined goal and then reviewing it daily. Jim Rohn says, one of our favorite speakers says, we need lots of long-term goals to help us pass the short-term obstacles. And we also need short-term goals so that we can see measurable progress in the direction of our dreams. You see, goals are dreams with a deadline and a plan. So, do you know what you want and do you have an action plan to get there? Many, many years ago, I heard Gordon Hester say that the biggest reason that we set goals is for us to become the person it takes to achieve them. What we become will be of far greater value than reaching the goal itself. So, success ingredient number one is knowing your purpose, knowing your why. That is so major. That's where we begin, knowing our why. And then that leads me to the second ingredient in success, which is growing to reach your maximum potential. I absolutely love step 2. Sharon mentioned that because it has been the catalyst that has helped bring me to where I am. I believe that we're the happiest when we're growing. Personal growth is directly linked to personal satisfaction, to financial rewards, and it's linked to living the life that you truly want. Jeff Roberti is the top income earner in our company, and he describes growth with 4 letters, CANI, constant and never-ending improvement. So commit to this journey of personal growth. David Beavers is a 100 Club National Marketing Director, and he has been quoted by more people saying this one phrase over and over again. The Juice Plus virtual franchise is a personal growth journey cleverly disguised as a business. Oh, that is so true. You know, none of us knew that when we signed up to be a rep, that it was a personal growth journey cleverly disguised as a business, but it truly is. So imagine with me for just a minute a big, beautiful tree, a tree with a strong, deep root system. Get that image in your mind. In order for a tree to grow, it has to have a strong, healthy, flourishing root system. In fact, the growth of that tree is directly connected to the roots, okay? And we're very much the same way. In order for us to grow, we must focus on the roots and not just the fruits. In fact, it's kind of easy to measure our success by the fruit. And you see, the fruit is what other people see. It's the customers, the reps, the PVC, the qualifiers, the paycheck, the bonuses. But it's the roots that provide the nourishment for the tree to produce that fruit. Because without a strong root system, that tree can't flourish. But with a strong root system, that tree will continue to grow and mature and produce more and more fruit. So if you're not happy with the fruit that you're seeing, take a look at the roots. And what I want to do is share 3 attitudes that make all the difference in growing that strong root system. In fact, it's kind of like growth hormones that everybody needs. So here they are. Growth hormone number 1, take responsibility for where you are in your life and in your business. And I think it's important to say this out loud to ourselves every day. I am responsible. Because your decision to take charge of your life is at the root of your success. Andy Andrews is one of my favorite authors. He said, I will not let my history control my destiny. The buck stops here. I am responsible. Let me just say that again. I will not let my history control my destiny. The buck stops here. I am responsible. I love what Wendy Campbell says. I can and I will. How many of us have heard her say that before? Many, many times. And that is taking responsibility. You see, I'm responsible for my actions. You're responsible for your actions. And I believe that you're on this call tonight because you want to get better and you want to be successful. Yes, it's up to us to take the tools that have been given to us, be responsible, take responsibility, and put them into action for ourselves to grow and for our business to grow. And it's those 10 little 2-letter words that can change your life. I heard these probably 20 years ago, and they've stuck with me. If it is to be, it is up to me. Let me say that again. If it is to be, it is up to me. It's up to me. It's up to you. It's you. You make the difference. It's your actions and your habits. And it's repeating the right actions over and over that take you where you want to go. And it's deciding on your action plan and then just going after it and doing it. You know, we all have an action plan, okay? It's kind of simple when you think about it. Not always easy, but it's simple. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. It's connecting with potential customers, following up with those customers, and following up with our distributors, and staying connected with our potential customers, existing customers, and our distributors. It's on the mission-driven model. We know it works. It's just up to us to use it and do it. Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And the accomplishments of tomorrow are established by the habits of today. You don't have to do extraordinary things to be successful in your Juice Plus business, but you do have to do ordinary things over and over again. And if there's anything that I have done to get to where I am in this business today, it's being willing to do the regular things over and over again. Whatever you do, never, never, never quit. Keep on going. Be persistent. Be consistent, because consistency creates miracles. Okay, so growth hormone number 1, I am responsible for my actions. Got that? Everybody got that? Shake your head. Okay, good. All right, growth hormone number 2, take responsibility for your thoughts. I'm responsible for my thoughts. You are responsible for your thoughts. Tommy Newberry has a great book called The 4-8 Principle. And he reminds us that you cannot think a positive thought and a negative thought at the same time. Have you ever thought about that before? Nicole C. Mullins has a song that says, think about what you think about. It's important to think about that. Psychologist James Allen says, you are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. So what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about your goals and your plans? Are you focused on your future? Or do you think about that family member who might be trying to steal your dreams and poo-poo your belief that you can do this? Do you think about that person that hurt you? Or do you focus on obstacles? Or do you see the opportunity before you? You know, along my journey, there were a lot of things that could have stopped me, but I took Zig Ziglar's advice. I got to hear him in person, and I heard him say from the front of the stage that some people need a checkup from the neck up. We have to discipline our mind to think the right kind of thoughts. Ron Jenkins, in his book, The 9 Things a Leader Must Do, says, what you see is what you'll be. So our mind is one of our biggest battlegrounds. We must guard our mind and take every thought captive. What goes into our mind and what we rehearse all day long is either going to help us or hurt us, and it's our choice. Are your thoughts building you up or tearing you down? Take responsibility for your thoughts, because your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings are a mirror image of your thoughts. I've learned over the years in growing this business that there are things that can sideline us from time to time. And I've learned that one of those things is comparison. Catherine Lee has said that comparison is an emotional cancer. Don't go there. 2,000 years ago, the Apostle Paul said, when you compare yourself with others, you are not wise. Whenever I am discouraged, it's usually because I'm comparing myself with someone else. And in the midst of growing my Juice Plus business and your Juice Plus business, I realized that, sometimes personal storms come into each of our lives in the form of challenges. Sometimes it's a disappointment, it's fears, it's relationship struggles. And we come to a place where we sometimes get stuck. And we're tempted to think it's the circumstances of our life that are holding us back. Here's the bottom line. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you that matters. It's how you think about what happens to you. So how do we handle that? How do we overhaul our thinking? There's a very simple formula. My husband likes to say YBH, yes, but how? It happens through our DMO, through a daily mental overhaul. I know you thought that I was going to say daily method of operation. We'll get to that. But it happens through a daily mental overhaul. What we put into our mind consistently makes the biggest difference. Books and audios can change your life. You've heard me quote many different people already on this call tonight, because the books that I've read, the audios that I've listened to have impacted my thinking. And when I look at some of the emerging leaders on this team, it thrills me because I see you guys talking about the books that you're reading or sharing a book that you're reading. And I know that you're growing yourself and you're becoming a stronger leader. Charlie Tremendous Jones said, 5 years from now, your life will pretty much be the same as it is today, except for the people you associate with and the books that you read. And in today's world, we can add podcasts and Audible books and DVDs to that list. But think about, what about 5 years from now, you being the same as you are today? Or you could be different. 5 minutes a day in a worthwhile book or spent with an inspiring speaker could change your life. So my question is, what are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you using to program your mind? Here's another one. Yes, but how? How do we do this? Have an attitude of gratitude. When you're grateful, it does not give voice to the negativity around you. Gratitude changes you because it focuses your thoughts on all that's good. Many of you have seen or probably used the 30 Reasons I Love My Juice Plus Business worksheet. Do you realize that the most powerful thing about that exercise is that it focuses our mind on the positive, and it creates an attitude of gratitude for all that we have. You see, an attitude of gratitude will change your life. Just read that book by Ann Voskamp, 1,000 Gifts. Amazing book about gratitude. I want to take you back to the 4th grade. When I was in the 4th grade, I found a great, big, huge green caterpillar out of my backyard. It was probably as big as my thumb. I mean, it was big. I scooped it up with a stick and I took it to school in a jar. And we watched it for several days. And then my teacher placed it in a closet. And pretty soon it had begun to spin a cocoon around itself. Before long, it was completely encased. And we were waiting. Day after day, we watched it. And one day, we noticed that it was beginning to move just a little bit. There was a small tear in the cocoon, and the butterfly was trying to emerge, and we were so excited. But our teacher wouldn't let us touch the cocoon. She said that that butterfly needed to work its way out of the cocoon so that its wings could develop and grow strong. And I'll never forget walking into class one day and checking on my cocoon and seeing a big, beautiful butterfly that had freed itself. I've thought back on that experience many times, and I wonder what would have happened if we had torn open the cocoon ourselves. The butterfly may never have developed the strength in its wings that it needed to fly. You see, it needed the struggle to work its way out of the cocoon so that it could fly on its own. So if you feel like you're working your way out of a cocoon right now, begin to treat your struggles as friends. They're part of the process of growth that helps us develop our wings so that we can fly. Fill up your mind with what is good, with what is true, and what is right. Because life happens to all of us. The storms of life will come. They'll shake up your tree. Scott and I had to deal with a health crisis in his life 17 years ago. If you talk to Catherine Lee or Jeannie Williams or Dana or Melissa or Sherry Ann or Julie or Anita or any other national marketing director, if you were to hear their life story, you would hear that there were many things that could have stopped us. But why did we keep going? It's because we chose to say, I am thankful. I am grateful for Juice Plus, and I'm thankful for this opportunity. I will greet each day with love in my heart. I love that one. I refuse to be snioped. SNIOPED. What in the world is that? Susceptible to the negative influences of other people. I refuse to be snioped. I discipline my disappointments. I bounce back quickly from temporary setbacks. So have you ever considered that if the mountain you are climbing were smooth, you couldn't climb it? If the rough spots are there for a reason, they give you handles so that you can climb higher. So growth hormone number 2 says, I am responsible for my thoughts. Your own thoughts and your own voice is the most powerful voice in your life. So what are you thinking about? And finally, that leads me to growth hormone number 3. Take responsibility for your legacy, sowing seeds to benefit others. What do you want to be most remembered for? I'm 61 years old, so that means that my life is probably half over. All right? And it's good to pause and reflect on our life. We were created, I believe, to contribute and to leave a mark on the people around us. Authentic leaders are constantly building legacies that add value to everyone that they interact with. And they're leaving the world a better place in the process. And that's one of the reasons why I love the Juice Plus community. It's that I'm surrounded by people who are doing this in a big way. We are all in a community of people who are world changers, and that excites me. Leaving a legacy and living a life of significance is all about sowing seeds that benefit others. And each one of you who is committed to this mission is doing exactly that. You see, success in life has little to do with what you gain or accomplish for yourself. It's what you do for others. Proverbs says, the generous prosper and are satisfied, and those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. So let me ask you a question. If you had said no to Juice Plus, whose health would be worse off? I want you to give that some thought. If you had said no to Juice Plus, whose health would be worse off? Have you ever stopped to consider the ripple effect that sharing Juice Plus has had? How many of the people who you have shared Juice Plus with are now your customers? A lot. How many of your customers are sharing Juice Plus with their friends or family, and they have become reps? And how many of your reps are duplicating the same thing? They're adding customers and more reps. Oh my goodness. Eleanor Roosevelt said, it is one of the most beautiful compensations of life that we cannot sincerely help another without helping ourselves. And that is one of the legacies that we're part of with the Juice Plus community. To love what you do and to feel like it matters, how could anything be more fun? That's why we have so much fun in this business, because we know that we're leaving a legacy. We're making a difference. When it comes right down to it, success is knowing your purpose, knowing your why, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds to benefit others. If I could sit across the table from you right now, I'd ask you to say this with me out loud. All right. Number one, I am responsible for my thoughts. Number two, I'm responsible for my actions. And number three, I'm responsible for my legacy. I am responsible. Yes, we have a lot of amazing tools available to us, but it's up to us to use these tools and then go to work on ourselves. And I promise you that your growth and the growth of your Juice Plus business has only just begun, because success begins with what you do with you, and success continues because of what you do for others. I truly believe it'll be the best year in the history of our company, right? For 25 years, we've been a leader in the marketplace for whole food nutrition. Nothing will ever catch up with Juice Plus in value or in research. And the Juice Plus company is here to stay. The home-based business industry is growing by massive numbers because it continues to offer an even playing field, and it provides an opportunity for anyone to achieve their dreams. And you have been given an opportunity to know your why. Let that drive you. You've been given an opportunity to grow. Personal growth is the greatest gift you can gain from this business. And you've been given an opportunity. We are an army of warriors on a mission to impact the next generation. So come on along and let's make history in 2018. I want to conclude by inviting you to another call that's going to take place on January 8th with Catherine Lee. She's one of the most influential leaders in our company and in our industry. And if you've ever heard her speak, I know you'll agree with me. She's going to help us all go from motivation to momentum, and momentum drives our business as we get that going. So put that on your calendar. Join us to hear Catherine Lee on January 8th. And 2018 will be the very best year ever. Let's get serious about knowing, growing, and sowing. And I just want to say thank you to Sharon for inviting me to share these thoughts with you tonight. Thank you to all of you for joining us and investing a little bit of time in yourself to see what you can tap into for the coming year. Knowing, growing, and sowing. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you so much, Amy. Awesome. So incredible. Amy, am I allowed to ask you a question so you can elaborate?
Sure.
Okay. I know that was so perfect, but I just have to ask it for people who are probably on a continuum of like ready to hit the ground running. Today is not New Year's yet, so they even have days in December they could go ahead and hit the ground running. They could do some homework, which you mentioned, the 30 reasons sheet, which I put the link in the chat.
Okay.
So they could go ahead and do that, right now. And maybe they're super excited, ready to bust through the walls. Maybe they can't sleep tonight. Or maybe they're feeling like, okay, I'm discouraged. Where do I start? I don't know. There's probably a continuum of people. Would you say, wash that away, the past, this is a new day? What's your advice for those two sides of the continuum?
Great. You were cutting in and out, but I'm going to assume that what you said.
The continuum.
There's a lot of people at different places in our business, and some of us are just brand new in this journey. Some of us has been around for a long time. One of the things that I love to do is write things down. And I said, you got to think it and you got to ink it. And one of the best things that you can do is just give yourself permission to dream. And no dream is too big and no dream is too small. Write it down. And I've got all kinds of things written down in my book. And I've got quotes that I love in here too, and challenge people. Do not pray for tasks equal to your powers. Pray for powers equal to your tasks. Then the doing of your work shall be no miracle, but you shall be a miracle. Every day you shall wonder at yourself and the richness of life which has come to you by the grace of God. I write things down in this book. I've got, my goals written down on a monthly basis. I rewrite those over and over again. So before New Year's, begin making a list of where you would like to be, what you would like to be celebrating by the end of 2018. And don't just put down the big goals. Yes, sometimes those are easy to put down, but we've got to break it down into incremental steps. Okay, if it means that I need another sales coordinator line underneath me, then first of all, I've got to find out who that person is going to be. Maybe it means sponsoring a new person, okay? Helping somebody finish their HLP and their 2000 plus. All of that goes down in my book. I have the people's names written down in my book that I'm working with right now that I'm going to help reach that next goal. So my business goals are in here. Some of my big goals are in here for my life as well. But writing it down, reviewing it on a daily basis makes a big difference. It's like when you decide that you get a brand new car, it's a white car, suddenly you see that car everywhere, all over the place, right? We've heard that before. When you write goals down, it just makes you much more aware of the opportunities all around you that can make that goal a reality for you. Mm-hmm. And it makes you more contagious in this journey. So between now and Monday, write it down. Don't just think about it, but ink it. And every single one of us can do that. Whether our next goal is finishing our HLP before the end of the month, before January 2nd, whether it's finishing up a 2000 plus or helping somebody else finish a 2000 plus, or whether it's going for sales coordinator, or whether your next goal is senior sales coordinator or Q&MD, whatever it is, put it in here, and then the steps that it's going to take you to get there.
Awesome. So perfect. Amy, I love that you used one of my favorite things to say to myself. I am responsible. It really takes away being a victim. And it's in the Brian Tracy Goals book. And if anybody wants more of that, that's in that book. And I just loved all of this. And I know everybody else did too. So I'm going to unmute you guys so you can all say thank you, Amy. Yay.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Thank you,
Happy New Year.
Amy.
Thank you,
New Year.
Amy.
It's great seeing all your faces. This is so